Hello, everybody. Welcome back to KB and Company. I am Kyle. Uh, Here we go. We're making another vlog. I wanted to make this special video. I wanted to do a video that's a little controversial, or it seems like it's controversial to me. What I wanted to talk about was dating, and we're going to try to figure out just why dating is just so hard these days. And this video will hopefully help a lot of people, and maybe it'll change people's views, or at least you get to see my view of how I feel about it. So we'll get started on it. Is when we're growing up, you know, most of our first relationships start in high school. You start dating somebody. That's when you start. That's for us men. We start noticing girls, and we're noticing that they're a little more developed, and you start hormones kick in, and it's always like that, which happens for all of us. I think all of us men would like to think that we're the masters at it, but we're not. And a lot of I think a lot of girls, it's just a lot different now. I'm not a girl, so I can't offer opinion on the girl's perspective, but at least I can offer a perspective on the male side of the pond here. So nowadays, now we talked a little bit about high school, and that's not important really. We're talking about more serious relationships that you form outside, after you've done high school. Dating is still simple at that point, because you're young, and I think a lot of people, you're not going to find your forever sweetie from high school, although there are rare cases where people end up marrying the high school sweethearts, but for a lot of people that does not happen, and most people don't find their soulmate until a much later age. I'm not the master at it. Let's see, I'm 30 years old, so I haven't had a whole lot of relationships, but I've had enough to learn. It's you got to learn from the past, and a lot of problems. Let's kind of get down to kind of how a relationship should be from the start. Don't lie to each other. Don't lie, because once you start, if you start lying to people from the start of your relationship with somebody, and you can't trust, and you can't trust somebody, then you're going to always be questioning the trust of that person. Nowadays, dating, for me, I think dating has degraded quite a lot. It's kind of stripped the confidence from men and women, because I've been guilty of it myself. You go online, you go on these dating websites, and you look at other people's profiles, and realistically, you might want to date a few of those people, but in the back of your mind, you're trying to find somebody who's better, or someone who's in a better situation, and that shouldn't really matter. What should matter is that person, you should just, I don't know, you could have a lot of faith. It really comes down to faith, not so much trust. It's not trust that you really need at the beginning of a relationship. The only time you need trust is if you're cheating on somebody. Then I think trust would come in there, because then you would have to kind of regain that trust of that significant other. So yeah, but don't get me wrong. When you're 18 till about my age, you got plenty of time to screw up and fuck up on a lot of relationships. Ooh, cursed, but um, but for me, at my stage, I'm 30, so I've had a lot. You know what? I'd say in the last 5 years, from the age of 25, I've had a conscious shift. It's when you start not thinking, you have to start thinking for the future instead of trying to think for the past. You can't. People have bad relationships in the past, and they use and for it's more, from what I've seen, it's more in women than it is men. Women, because every time a girl or a woman has a failure at a relationship, it makes it, they go into the next relationship, you know, without any trust, without any faith, and you're already, and they don't let their guard down. You have to. Their guard is so up that you cannot get that person to open up to you. And nowadays, at least from some of my relationships, from looking, from dating or chatting, and I have, I think every one of us, we end up chatting with somebody, and I've had a few experiences where I was chatting with a potential girl, and that girl ended up knowing more about me than I knew about her. I was very open, and I still am. Even when I do try to, I don't know. I just have learned to have a lot of confidence, and you have to be passionate about allowing a new relationship to work out. That's really how it should be. But nowadays, a lot of people kind of hide inside their homes and on their phones, and they're just looking through profiles and looking through profiles and looking through profiles, and sometimes people are just too picky. You can't be picky. If your standards is up here, realistically, you kind of have to meet in the middle. Well, not really. I don't even think, what, that's wrong. You really shouldn't meet in the middle. But your standards of another person should not be. If your standards are too high, you'll never get any relationship to work. Relationships require trust. If you can't, it's kind of like I said before. If you can't trust somebody at the beginning of a relationship, and you lie to somebody at the beginning, it's not going to work. It really won't, and it'll just cause a lot of problems down the road. And if you meet somebody new, you should be doing everything you can to get to know that person, because dating wasn't always like it is now. Back in the 80s, you had to get face to face with somebody, and you had to get on the phone. You had to get somebody's number just so you could get to know them. Nowadays, we're lucky because you got all these apps, and we have the internet, and you can message people, but in the end, you're never going to get to know anybody that way, and it's going to take you well over 6 months to try to get to know somebody. And it's not how fast that you need to get to know somebody. You want to get to know people as quick as possible so that that relationship will work, and you have to give it a chance. You gotta give relationships a chance to work. If those opportunities aren't out there, if as a woman you're not giving that man that opportunity to prove himself, then you'll never be happy that way. And you have to be open. You have to be very open about getting to know people. It's nutty. So it looks like we're reaching about 10 minutes here. Hopefully I haven't lost anybody. But I think that's really all I would have to say about dating. Um, yeah, because it's just crazy. It's just, you know, it shouldn't be, but it shouldn't be complicated. And even I'm not saying that I don't know everything either. I don't know everything about dating. You know, I may be 30 years old, but you know, you're as long as you're moving forward. You know, if you're always stuck, like I said, if you're always relying on past experiences, or you allow the past to affect your present, and you have to move on from the past. You can't allow all these bad experiences to affect a future, forging relationships. You need to be able to have that trust, and it doesn't work. And that's why I think dating has become an institutionalized thing, because you got everybody, people have each other under the microscope, and the internet has allowed, I think it's robbed a lot of people of their confidence, because you're not able to face those people, and you have to spend time with people. Realistically, you have to spend time. You have to be open to anything and everything. You have to give people a chance to prove themselves. And yeah, as long as you follow those simple guidelines, you have a chance. You have a chance at a relationship becoming successful. And yeah, like I said, that's basically it. I think that's really everything that you would have to really know about a relationship, and sex isn't everything, even though, we all get horny, we all have those urges, and, it's okay. It's normal. Sex is a normal thing in relationships. Even when you first meet people, sex is not something that you should rule out. A woman is not a slut if she gives it up to you the first time. It's when you forge a relationship with somebody and you sleep with that person, and then you go behind their back and you sleep with multiple other people, then I think a lot of people would put that person in a category of being a slut. But like I said, that's all I'm going to say about it. Just because I've run this video probably longer than it should be. Okay, I'll tell you why I made... Okay, so we're at the end of this video, and I'm going to tell you why I made this video, and why I felt like I wanted to talk about this and get it out and open. At least how I feel about it. Recently, I've been corresponding with a certain girl. I won't mention her name, and I'm not going to give out any information about her. Hopefully she'll watch this video and understand where I'm coming from. And hopefully things will work. Hope I don't make her mad and make her hate me and chase her away, because that's not what we want to do here. And it was like I said before, this girl knows more about me than I know about her. Hopefully from this video she'll see that she can trust me, and hopefully me and her can make it work. And who knows, maybe one day she could be in these videos, or so anything is possible. So because we're all trying to look for Mrs. Right, and the ladies are always they're always looking for Mr. Right, and the goal is to be Mr. Right or be Mrs. Right, and have faith in each other. Just have faith in relationships. And I'll add one more thing to the end of this video is going to be the most important thing that you should take away from this is have unconditional love. Even if you don't know that person, give them unconditional love, because that's what they need. They need, people need unconditional love. They need to know that someone's behind them and that you're going to be there to listen to that person. And when you reach my age, you'll feel the same way. And hopefully she sees how I am and watches this entire video, because it'll be good. It's beneficial. It's not just beneficial to her, it's beneficial to you guys as well. All right, well, again, I'm Kyle, and for KB and Company, and we're going to sign off on this video, and that'll be it. And I'll try to get this video up as quick as possible. All right, bye-bye, guys.